Welcome to Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is October the 2nd, 2025. We're going to be talking about AEW. We got two matches that got confirmed for Wrestle Dream. We got a world title match, and we got an AEW women's world title match that's going to be happening at Wrestle Dream in October 18th. We didn't get a lot of segments. We got Mercedes Moné is having an open challenge at Title Tuesday next week, and she wants to face somebody from Florida for the TBS Championship. She's gonna be the longest reigning TBS champion. I guess she's gonna beat Jay Cargill's. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. And she wants to know who's gonna team up with her, because remember, her goal is to break the record of 10 belts. To do that, she needs 10 belts. Maybe she could win the tag team titles. And there's her record. But ladies and gentlemen, who will team up with Mercedes Moné? Hardy Cameron thought she could be teaming up with her when she brought the Mercedes Moné puppets. Mercedes and Moné said no to it. There's a lot of women that says they want to be in this match and to get the titles. Tate Mello and Anna Jay wants the shots. I think that's the only team I know that is an actual tag team. I think Megan Bain and Ford is a tag team. And Sky Blue and Julia Hart, I don't know if Thicula is tag team or she's trying to get singles title as part of the faction. Because remember, there's a tag team division of the faction, and there's a singles wrestler for the in the faction. I don't know which one is the tag team and which one is the singles. So I have no idea. Let's talk about the matches that we had. Kenny Omega teaming up with Brody King and Bandito will be versing the Broke Young Bucks. Why they're broke is because Nick Jackson used all his money. Used all the money that they won in that match they had a couple weeks ago. He went to casinos. And he thought he could win big. And he did not tell Matt Jackson about it. Because Matt Jackson tried to get a big pyro, a big entrance. But Nick Jackson told Brandon Cutler that he knows that he could make big money. But he didn't. He did not win big money. He lost all the money. So now they have the jobber entrance. Technically, they don't have an entrance. And they team up with Josh Alexander. Pretty decent trios match. The winner of that match was Kenny Omega and Brody King and Bandito getting the win. And then Kenny Omega looks like he was about to handshake with the Young Bucks. Until he got attacked by Josh Alexander multiple times. And then here comes the return of the Jurassic Express. Came out and attacked the Young Bucks. And then, remember the long time ago when Jack Perry was part of the Elite and he tried to end the career of Kenny Omega? When he had that surgery and that sickness he had? Yeah, Kenny did not forget. So he was shoving, they were shoving each other. But the last shove that Jack Perry did, he shoved Kenny Omega away and he did a suicide dive onto the Young Bucks. And then the Young Bucks and the Jurassic Express start fighting to the backstage. And then Kenny Omega had a microphone and talk about the 6 years that they've been in AEW. And he's been there in the day one, the ups and downs and all that stuff. And he wants to thank the fans for being here. And he did his catchphrase to say goodnight, but the lights went out. The lights went up. And there was a masked man. And maybe you guys know that mask. It's the returning of Andrade. He comes out. He attacks Kenny Omega. Don Callis gets in the ring and shakes hands with Andrade. Andrade is now part of the Don Callis family. This guy gets fired from WWE. And he coming back to AEW. Is he actually going to do something this time? Is he actually going to do something? Because he was like a big jobber. He was like a big jobber in AEW last time. He was doing good things in WWE with Ray Phoenix. So why in the world you messed that up? I have no idea. Welcome to Don Callis Family, Andrade. Next match of the evening, we got Kyle Fletcher defends his TNT title against Orange Cassidy. It was supposed to be hologram, but Kyle Fletcher at Collusion attacked hologram, and now he's injured. So Orange Cassidy is a replacement. Pretty decent match. Orange Cassidy was about to win this match, but Don Callis tried to get himself involved to hit Orange Cassidy with a shoe until hologram came out. I thought he was injured. He comes out and he tries to stop Don Callis. He did. And then he attacks Orange Cassidy. Kyle Fletcher retains the TNT title with hologram in the way. And it wasn't done there. They attack after the match until Colorado Roger Strong and the rest of that faction comes out and makes everybody run away. And then Don Callis grabs all his members of his Don Callis family, even Andrade. Every single one of them came out. And then the hologram took his mask off. He's the clone of hologram. We on Collusion, we've been seeing. I haven't seen a lot of this, but there's a lot of weird things happening. Red lights happening, and hologram was acting weird. And this guy keeps saying that he's coming soon. He looks cool. He rips his shirt off, and he has all these tattoos on. He's wearing black and red. He does look like hologram, but it feels like, know what it feels like to me? The Sin Cara versus Sin Cara match. The black and silver Sin Cara versus the blue and gold Sin Cara. And now we're getting holograms. And his name is El Clone. I think that's what Don Callis says. His name is El Clone. I don't know what that means, but okay. I think it's some Mexican saying, but he's clone. Oh, man. Okay, so we have a lot of Don Callis family, and there's a lot of jobbers in this team. And I don't see anything good happening with this. You remember with the corporation? They brought a whole bunch of people to join in this faction. And some of those guys done absolutely nothing for that team. They did nothing. Test didn't win no championships. Who else was in there that did not win championships? I can't say Ken Shamrock because he won championships. I don't think the Big Show ever won championships when he was part of the corporation. Even when they made it more bigger with the Mystery of Darkness Corporation, there was still useless people in there. I could name a lot of people that's useless that's in the Don Callis family. Lance Archer, Rocky Romero. I don't know if Trent Barretta's still in there because he's injured. I think he is. I haven't seen him around. Those guys are useless. Even Hatchimal, whatever his name is, that masked man, now that he gets replaced by a clone, that guy is kind of useless too. But speaking of Don Callis, we heard that Don Callis made a tag team match for Title Tuesday against Brody King and Bandito to versus Okada and Takeshita. Takeshita's not happy with that. But Okada says, yes, it's going to be me and you versus Brody King and Bandito. Let's see what happens there. We got Hangman Adam Page teaming up with Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs versus the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Claudio, and Daniel Garcia. Pretty decent match, but Hangman got knocked off of the apron, and Powerhouse Hobbs was getting ready to tag. So Hangman got back on the apron, and it looked like Samoa Joe was about to get tagged, but Hangman got tagged. So Hangman stole the tag from Samoa Joe. And when they won the match, Hangman and Adam Page won the match for the team, but Samoa Joe was angry because Hangman is taking everything from him. And Powerhouse Hobbs trying to stop this argument, but until the security came out. I think the security kind of made it worse, because you made Samoa Joe angry and you made Hangman angry because you guys are shoving them away, and then they start brawling. But in the backstage, Hangman issued a challenge to Samoa Joe at Wrestle Dream for a shot at the World Championship, and Samoa Joe accepted the match. Well, speaking of titles, we had Toni Storm versus Tay Mello. It was a pretty decent match for Tay Mello. Her first match against Toni Storm. Toni Storm gets the win. And she had a promo, and she wants to know who is she without the title. But she wants to see who's the best between her and Chris Statlander. She's not done with Chris Statlander, and she wants to know who's best in a one-on-one match. So she issued a challenge to Chris Statlander. Anytime, you pick anytime, any place to have our one-on-one match. Chris Statlander did accept the match, and she chose the time and the date. The time will be whenever I remember her matches at Wrestle Dream. I don't know what time her match will be in there. But at Wrestle Dream, it will be for the Women's World Championship. We have GOA versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. The winner of that match was GOA, getting the win. But the Hurt Syndicate comes out. MVP is a little embarrassed because he was not that great at All Out. I know that for sure because I watched it live. Me and my dad watched it live. It wasn't my favorite match. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, he's not happy about that, and he apologized to the fans. He apologized to Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. But he doesn't want to have a match. He doesn't want to put on ring gear. He doesn't want to do a 1, 2, 3. He wants to fight. So he issued a challenge to GOA and Ricochet to a street fight next week on Tuesday. And of course, Ricochet accepted the match. We're getting a street fight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a mixed tag team tornado match. Darby Allin teams up with the AEW Women's World Champion, Chris Statlander, to versus Wheeler Yuta and Maria Shafir. Darby Allin and Chris Statlander didn't want to wait, so they attacked Yuta and Shafir when they were doing their entrance in the audience. They attacked them in the audience. But they were using weapons. They were using chairs. We saw a superplex from Darby Allin to Wheeler Yuta onto a pile of chairs. And we saw thumbtacks. And then Maria Shafir made a big mistake wearing no shoes because she got like atomic drop, but her feet landed into the thumbtacks. The thumbtacks was on her bare feet. That must hurt. But the winner of that match was Darby Allin and Chris Statlander getting the win. And then we got Toni Storm coming to from the ramp. And then Chris Statlander had a face-to-face with Toni Storm. Out of nowhere, they had a brawl. And then you saw in the background, you see Darby Allin whipping Yuta with his own belts, whipping him multiple times until Pat came out and saved Yuta and choked him out with his own belts, with Darby Allin's belts. And here comes Jon Moxley, and he says, at Wrestle Dream, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to make you say I quit. And Darby Allin's just spitting out spits because he was getting choked so bad. And then when Jon Moxley left, Mr. Pac did a nasty clothesline on Darby Allin to end the show. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I will see you guys tomorrow for TNA results. I am doing my WrestleMania. I'm having fun with my WrestleMania on 2K25. Oh man, guys, we have a lot of new champions. We had the biggest WrestleMania main events for me. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title inside the steel cage. But it's going to be, if Seth Rollins loses, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT will turn it into Mutiny for 1 year. I got the Mutiny Arenas from my Rise, and that's what we're going to do. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. I think it's crazy. I'm feeling it. We had a great match between The Rock and John Cena for the United States title and The Rock's career to be in the WWE. Cena won the match. No more Rock. Yeah, and now we got this fatal 4-way match for the women's tag team titles. I can't wait to play more of this. And we got Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. The Braun Brawns versus the Mutiny. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Big matches for WrestleMania. That's all I'm going to say. Tell us out. Bye.